Hello and welcome to Seaside Siblings episode 11. In we are now officially into double digits. Right there, it's June, and Ramsha and I are talking after quite a long time.
Mm,
I'm here in Karachi. Hey Ramsha.
hi, bhai.
Hey, so Ramsha, you're in Milwaukee.
I'm in
क्या हुआ है?
Milwaukee, still here. So I think the last time we spoke was around February. Um, my
It
my
was
exam was
April.
it was April?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we've spoken a lot. Episode 10, April
oh
was
my
posted like
God. Okay, I thought that was in February. Wow. Okay, time is just has evaded me. But I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I passed my exam, my part two
woohoo,
of the dental
woohoo.
boards,
Yeah,
which is a huge weight off my shoulder.
yeah,
And then I also got my PR card for the United
yeah.
States, and it's awesome because I got it the same. I found out I got my PR card, and
Uh-huh.
then 2 hours later I got an email saying I passed my exam. So it was a very good day. It was a very good
Yeah,
day. One of our
it
friends
was
was like, "You should maybe buy the lottery today." Today, I was like, "Yeah, man." Yeah, it was a good day. And then what happened? Then we left for our honeymoon. Uh,
Mhm.
a week after that. Which thank God I cleared my exam. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty shitty honeymoon on my end. I just would have been a bitch the whole time. I would have been like, I don't want to do this. I'm a failure. But
No,
Hawaii
it
was
was
a lot of
amazing.
fun.
The
Shit.
that day, I remember that day, it was amazing and I was so happy for you.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah,
the
oh yeah, I texted you like immediately, and then I called Mama, and then
uh,
Umar was telling his mom, and then he started crying, and I was like, oh no, did I stress you out that much? And he was like, no, I'm just so happy. It was really fun, man. That was a really
oh,
good day. It was a very good day. And then
it,
I remember
it
telling Umar, and when we were done with like calling family and stuff, we sat down, and I was like, I can't believe I passed, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, and then I was like, I love you and all that shit, but I'm more happy today than I was the day we got married. And he was like, no, I believe me, same. This is way better than us getting married. I was like, yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
that's we were very excited. Alhamdulillah, worked out.
yeah, I will. Yeah, considering like how long you guys knew each other, like marriage was like a finally thing, but this was like amazing. I was so
This was
happy.
one of those things that we were like, अच्छा ठीक है हाँ पता है शादी तो होनी ही है लेकिन it was like शादी के बाद क्या plan है मेरे, like so this is one of those
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that is a big thing. So now the next
yeah.
step is just applying to schools, hopefully applying to residency programs. I looked up University of Michigan, by the way. Guess who went to the University of Michigan dental school?
Uh, the Wolverine.
What? No. The Wolverine, the president of
Dracula with his
Pakistan.
teeth. Oh, are you
Oh,
serious? Arif Alvi,
yeah.
President Arif. Okay.
Yeah, and so I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should tweet him and be like, sir, can I get a letter of recommendation? Just even as a
No
joke,
harm.
and if he responds, I'll be like, please, sir, give me some more. Um,
Yeah, we have some more. Yeah, no, we could try and pull that. We could. It would be slightly insane,
you
but
can call
we
his people. You interviewed him like 2 years ago. You should call his
yes.
people and be like, I would like to ask a favor, sir. He
Yeah.
seems chill though. He would probably. I should
He
actually
is
really
very
seriously consider doing that.
yeah, Arif Alvi, I did interview him 3 years ago for Newsline, and he is he's a very sensible man. He is now the president of Pakistan. So that happened. And he
Mama's
is
worked with
down to
him, I think, a couple of times also.
yeah. Me's also worked with him. So I don't know how you go about, but now he's like on a different level. So I what like
Let me
if we
tweet him
could
right
get it,
now.
okay, Ramsha, okay, like
As,
no harm, but I don't
in
know how to
lifetime.
get. Yeah, I don't know how what the official way to get in touch with the president is, but you know what? No harm, no foul. Like it's not nothing was. wasted if you didn't like
Yeah.
attempt to contact them.
How would you
So,
start the tweet? Should I say salam, sir?
Assalamu alaikum. Well, no, Assalamu alaikum. Nahi. It's like, uh,
Hello, sir.
dear Mr. Hello, sir, or dear Mr. President, or Mr. President, Sadar Sahab, President Sahab. President Sahab is not bad.
Yeah.
President Sahab,
Should I
President
say I
Sahab. Some
hope this, you know, when you write an email and you say I hope this email finds you well, should I say I hope this tweet finds you well, or is that too sarcastic? I don't want to sound sarcastic. This is serious stuff.
Okay, so President Saab, I hope you are doing well. I am. I don't know if you
You're
should
gonna
mention publicly that you're doctor. That you're
No,
like
no, no. I'm just gonna be like I
alma
graduated from this university and I'm applying to Michigan and
uh,
I know that's your
alma
alma
mater.
mater. Yeah, and I was wondering if you could just maybe, slip me a letter of reco, man. No,
You
I
know,
won't.
I've probably known someone who got a letter of recommendation from General Musharraf back when he
Yeah,
was
that
president.
dude, that pompous shit who got into Yale. We played tennis with
Oh my
him once, and
God,
he was a piece of shit.
yes, it was Saqib. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I
cool.
played.
Saqib was amazing.
I mean, I don't
I
mean to call him a piece of shit, but he was a little cocky when we were all
Oh
playing
God,
tennis.
yeah,
I was like,
he's our
relax
friend.
yourself.
He's our friend. He's our friend. He's also like uh, I don't want to say anything publicly about a friend of mine, but the phrase mistake and the name of his college was attached sometimes. But no, it's kind of no, but it was good, and it was good that he did that. Like that's enterprising. Like you know what? I don't know how personally Ramsha to get in touch with him because like his mobile number is not
Oh, I'm
operational because we
sure.
did
Oh, no.
try to congratulate him. I
Oh,
don't think he
really?
responds to requests on his mobile
Oh,
because
I'm
you
sure,
know
dude. I'm sure. Can you
president of
imagine? Can you
yeah.
imagine doing what he did and then yeah, I don't know. I'm sure security is pretty tight for him. But I will do this because I at this point anything goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no harm, no foul. Just make an attempt, yeah, just try. I don't know. Maybe like in email might work. Maybe contacting his PA. This is
No,
very interesting.
mm-mm,
You've got
mm-mm. I'm not doing
okay.
emails, man. I'm apparently a millennial, so we have to get attention, okay? That's what we need
Yes,
as
we do.
millennials.
Yes, we yes we do. Here's the thing. I thought until like 2012 or 2012, I thought I was Generation X because we have the same social politics as
Oh, really? That's how.
social attitudes as like Gen X. So I thought we were like I thought I was Gen X, but apparently I found out in 2012 that no, I'm a separate category from Gen X. And I was like, oh, but I look up to all these like reporters and these journalists and these crusading like activists who are like Gen Xers, and I'm apparently a different thing from them,
Yeah,
called a
we
Gen.
looked it up too, because Omar was like, "Am I a millennial?" And I was like, "Listen, I know you're hanging on to every piece of youth that you can get." No, I'm joking. But yeah, I think until 95 or 94, you're a millennial.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually I would say I would extend it all the way to 99. In fact, I'd say 90 in 80 to 1999 you're a millennial, then it's Gen Z.
But hey, man, age is just a number, okay? You are how you feel.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
You're
yeah.
as old
By
as
the
you
way,
feel,
by the way, you know what
which would
the
make me
actual
12.
you know what the actual term for millennial is? The
Oh,
official term?
what?
Generation Y. So I like that better than millennials. I like that, Gen Y. Okay,
Anyway,
so
what were we? Oh, so I was
yeah, yeah.
so I went to Hawaii, which was really fun. We had so many near-death experiences, which was also fun. Um,
Okay. Uh-huh.
so we went ATVing in this secluded like island,
G.
Lahaina,
Uh-huh.
and it's they have three roads. They have no stoplights. Okay, they don't have like a proper hospital. Okay, they just have like an urgent care like walk-in situation. So like
Okay.
yeah, it's like it's not safe. Um, and we went ATVing and it was beautiful. We went up to the mountains. We were like, it was amazing. Then we're coming down and we had to go to this cat sanctuary. And then
Uh-huh.
to get there was like a 15-minute like ride, and we were on individual ATVs, and it was just Umar and I and our tour guide John, and he, it's like dusty and muddy, so we have to keep like a 15-second interval between each ATV. So John gave us a map, and he told us where we're gonna go and all that stuff. And then we hooked up all our bags, all our pani. For some reason, Umar had my phone, everything onto Umar's ATV. So it was
Uh-huh.
John. The way our ride was, John was in front of us guiding us. Then uske piche मैं थी, फिर मेरे पीछे Umar. And then we were coming down from the mountains on our way to the cat sanctuary, and John's like, okay, we're just gonna go straight, follow the road, and don't go on any paved roads, okay? Because apparently you can't ride ATVs on paved roads in Hawaii. So I was like, okay, I'll just follow you. And the dust trail that the
Hmm.
person in front of you leaves, it stays for like a good 7-10 seconds, so you can kind of make out कौन किधर गया है.
Hmm.
Anyway, me and John get to the cat sanctuary, and we're just and as I'm riding up to him, he's on his phone. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And he's like, good, good. I just got a voicemail from Umar, and I'm like, what do you mean? And basically, it was just it was just like a
Uh-huh.
butt dial situation that had happened. Um,
Oh.
but then we waited, and then we came to the conclusion that Umar's probably lost. And then we get another
Okay.
voicemail from Umar while we're waiting at this cat sanctuary where he's definitely just lost. And then
Okay.
I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And the first thing I think of is I don't want to be that couple who, you guys get married, go to your honeymoon, and only one of you comes back. Okay. Those horror stories.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not going to be us. So I'm like, John, what the
Okay.
fuck do we do? And John's like, well, there's nothing we can really do. Let's just wait here because he knows where to go. And I was like, listen, you don't know my husband. Okay. I don't know if he knows that he's even lost. So he was like, no, 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 no. The safest thing we can do right now is to wait here. So I was like, okay. And this whole time I have to pee really bad, which is like my
Uh,
life dilemma. I always have to go pee every like 30 minutes. Anyway, so I'm like, John, listen, try calling him back. So then he was like, listen, phone calls don't work. And he told us this before we set out on a ride. He was like, texting works, phone calls don't work because there are like not enough cell phone towers on this island. Um, so I was like, okay, text him to text you as soon as he sees his phone, okay? So then
mm,
he's like, ठीक है. ये हुआ. Then I'm like, okay, listen, like it was like maybe 15 minutes that Umar was lost, but it felt like an hour, man. And it was like, but मेरे पास, I didn't even have my phone to check the time, okay? And I'm like, John, listen, I really think you should go out. I'll stay here in case he comes back, but you should drive out, see if he's even there. So he was like, okay, ठीक है. So John hauls ass, comes back after like 10 minutes, and he's like, I don't know where he went because this is the straight path that we're supposed to go on. I told you guys not to go on the road, so I don't know if he went down the road. And I'm like, what's down the road? And he's like, nothing, there's just beach. And I was like, oh. So he was like, hopefully he sees the beach, realizes that he messed up, and he turns back around. So I was like, okay. तो फिर हम 5 मिनट बैठे बैठे, and I was like, John, has this ever happened to you before? Have you ever lost anyone before? And he was like, oh yeah, I've lost people at like 1 p.m. and they showed up at like 7 p.m. sham ke, and I was like, fuck. And our boat back to the main island was at like 4:30. So I was like, oh
oh.
man, okay. And now I just start freaking out. And then I'm like, okay, John, I think we should go check a second time. And he was like, no, we shouldn't. And I was like, why? And then I started getting mad at John because I was like, my husband is missing, motherfucker. And I'm like, okay. So then I sit for like 5 minutes again, and I'm like, listen, I really have to pee. I'm gonna go pee, man. And when I come back, we are going to go look for him. And he was like, okay, okay, if it'll give you peace of mind, we'll go look for him. So I was like, fine. I go, I pee. While I'm walking up to him, he's on his phone. So I run up to him and I'm like, who is it? And he's like, it's Umar. So they're actually speaking. And then from like, you know how when someone's on the phone, you can hear what they're saying. So I heard Umar say, please tell my wife I'm sorry. I'm sorry I stressed her out. And I was like, it's fine. And then I was like, so then John hung up and I was like, what's the scene? And he was like, yeah, he got to the beach, realized that he messed up, turned back around. He had the map with him, so he opened up the map, like found where he was, found where he's supposed to be, and now we'll see him in like less than 5 minutes. So I was like, oh, thank God. And then Umar showed up, and then we went and pet some cats, and it was fun. This cat
I'm
sanctuary, by the way, had like 600 cats. It was insane.
yeah, so was the story you just told me. My God, you didn't tell me this shit when you came back or in your Instagram stories and telling
I would not want the world to know that my that this had happened, man. It was something. And then
this is amazing. I was
yeah,
worried you were about to have not like the TV series Lost type situation. Okay, you're stuck on an
oh my
island for
God.
overnight. Allah
I
na
mean, you
kare.
know what? Honestly, if we had to get stuck on an island in Hawaii, I wouldn't complain. I would just be, because in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, Umar's injured. You know, the ATV has somehow flipped over on him. His leg is
Allah.
pinned down. He's bleeding. He's just his ACL has torn again. You know, like the worst, obviously. That's what was going through my mind. And John was trying to like calm me down, and I'm like, stop. But yeah, he was very calm.
Yeah, no.
This tour guide
No,
was very
I was just
calm.
thinking, I was just imagining poor Omar like driving on an ATV around a Hawaiian jungle.
Man, we were hauling. It was like fifth gear, 50 miles. We're going pretty jaldi.
Describe the scenery. What was the scenery like where you were like,
It was different kinds of terrain. So going up, it was like grasslands, and then we passed by like a farm. We saw little ponies and little goats going up, and then then that's when we got like a little higher up.
hmm
That's when mountains started, and it got like muddy, and as you go more ऊपर obviously ठंड हो जाती है थोड़ी और, and then we were at one point at the same level as clouds, and John kept saying, okay, it's gonna get a little foggy, but it's not fog, okay, don't be scared, it's just clouds. And we were like, oh, that's fucking awesome. So and then
uh-huh.
it was amazing. I'll send you more pictures. So that
Please.
and then we went up in the mountains, hung out there for a little bit, and then came down. And then when we came down, it was more like dry mud, um, orange, like just sand mud. I want to describe it. And it's
Uh-huh.
orange red because there's a lot of iron in the ground. It was interesting. It was a lot of fun. My face
Yeah.
was just dusty the whole. But it was a lot of fun. I think that was the most fun I had. Yeah, the need for speed overcame me. I was hauling.
So you basically went from sea level to mountains that were high enough that clouds were on them. Like
Yeah. It was
what
just a
insane
very
job.
small island, by the way, that's only accessible via like ferry, and that's how. And
Uh-huh.
by the way, I got really seasick. It was like a 45-minute ferry ride to get to the
Okay.
island and 45-minute back, and I puked both times because the current was just. It was like the fucking ship that we were on was just upper niche, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die in the Pacific Ocean. I'm gonna die, even though it
Oh
was like
God.
completely safe. It was nothing to be afraid of. I have
Yeah.
like a fear of like open sea.
Did,
Uh,
did you get your sea legs? Didn't you get your sea legs? Like, didn't you like sort of coordinate with the motion of the boat,
no,
motion of
dude,
the ocean?
I was not able to coordinate shit. I was surprised that I made it to the toilet. The only thing I could coordinate was my face in the toilet. Okay, it was pretty, yeah. But I mean, I knew once I puked, I'll feel better. It's fine.
Yeah, that kind of happens. But like I've been on the open sea. I haven't had. I've been
No,
sort of in the open sea. I've been in the harbor. But yeah,
this
this
was
is
nothing like when we would go on like with our trips with our family, man. It was just
yeah,
it was a
yeah.
big ass boat that was just being pushed up and down. And Umar was like,
Mm,
well, it's like a roller coaster. Just think of it as a roller coaster. And I was like, there's water out there. This is not a roller coaster. This is death.
yeah. Okay. I can understand. I can understand that. Umar was fine with. He
He was
wasn't getting
fine.
seasick.
No, he
Yeah,
was
'cause
fine. He was fine. But he could tell it was intense. So he understood. He was like, dude, you're gonna have to puke. You'll feel better afterwards. And I was like, yeah. But all in all, it was fun. I almost you know how I
Mhm.
can't swim, right? So I almost drowned in the pool in like 6 feet
God,
of pani. It was because
my
I was like
God.
we at the hotel. I was like we were just laying out by the pool, and I was like it was getting really hot, so I was like let's go in the pool. And then I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, let's jump. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, let's jump. And then, dude, I thought I was on the side that was like, 5 feet, 4 feet. I was in the middle
Uh-huh.
where it was like 6 feet. So I jump in, held my breath,
Uh-huh.
all that good stuff, but my feet, I couldn't feel the ground underneath my feet. And then I just started freaking out. Okay. And it felt like 3 minutes had gone by, and I like popped my head up, and I just couldn't get my body to start swimming because I was just in a panic because I couldn't feel the ground underneath me. Dude, it was like
Uh,
maybe 3 seconds. Okay, because Umar jumped in, plopped his head out to check on me, and saw me like struggling, and he's like, "Yep, she gonna die." And then he like went in from under, picked me up, and like threw me on the side of the pool. All within like 3 to 5 seconds of each other, but it felt
Thank
like
you,
three
Omar.
minutes. And he
Thank
was
you,
like, "Are
Omar,
you
for
okay?" I was like, "No, I'm never doing that again." And he was like, "Oh shit, her fear is back." And then he actually realized he was
that.
like, "Okay, now I realize how scared you are of Pani. I knew you were, but I didn't realize how bad it was until I saw your face when you were just struggling because you couldn't feel the ground underneath. That was bad. That was my near death experience. But other than
Uh,
that, it was an amazing trip.
are you
It
missing
was
out any other ones? Because I'm really interested in like your insane hijinks. This is your Ramsha, this is your honeymoon, by the way.
Yeah,
And
but it's it's like a good story. Like when Omar was lost, and when once he got a hold of John when on his way back, I was like in my head, I'm like, okay, he's fine, he's physically fine, he's not hurt. This is gonna be a funny story. So it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. But you shouldn't put yourself at risk for funny stories. Any other hijinks, Ramsha? Please tell in Hawaii. Please
Oh, I
tell me.
lost my I we went kayaking in this really beautiful
Okay.
river, and I lost my
Uh,
Roger Federer cap, which I was
oh, I remember that. So
yeah.
sad.
So that's all.
So
But it
sad.
was an amazing trip. Lots of amazing experiences. We had a Reiki session, which was amazing.
What's what is that?
Reiki is when basically these Reiki instructors or Reiki masters, they use basically there's energy flowing through our bodies at all times,
Mm-hmm.
and when our body's in pain or we feel weak or something, it's probably because energy is kind of not getting to where it needs to be. So these Reiki masters, they act as vessels, and they take energy from the world, the earth, the air, like the elements, and they act as a
Oh,
vessel or a channel, and they put it within us in our body where we need it. And it was a very good experience. That's something I would recommend to anyone who, if you have the opportunity to do, you should always experience that. I mean, it was
oh,
amazing. I mean, I had like physical pain in my lower back, which I told her about, and she didn't even touch me. They don't touch you.
okay.
And that was the only time she touched me, and she like helped me meditate. They helped me and Umar meditate, and then in the middle of the session, she touched my lower back. I was lying down, and she just touched it for maybe 15 seconds and then let go, and then she was like, okay, now slowly move your body around, and it was gone. I was like, kala jadoo.
Wow.
But it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was incredible. Umar's
Okay.
was very, like, when he was telling me about it, he was tearing up. I think he also like teared up a little bit during his Reiki session because she like brought things to light that he had no idea about. She like could kind of see his dada. Do you want me to tell you about it?
Yeah, why not?
So
Okay, this is gonna go up online, so if like you
yeah,
want to
yeah. Oh, that's
be
fine. No, no. He basically she when she started, she was like, during these sessions, people sometimes end up like laughing, and that's fine. You can laugh, you can cry. It's all
Mhm.
normal. It's just emotions will overcome you. So give in to them. So then she just talked about how in a past life Umar was like a shaman or something, just very
Okay.
like in touch with nature. And you know how he is, like he's very like empathetic to people and nature and
Yes.
animals and stuff, shit like that. So she was like, you were, a monk or something in your past life. And then she started seeing like an older gentleman with like a cane,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Do you have anyone in your an elder who you were close to who passed away?" And he was like, "Yeah, my grandfather on my dad's side." And then she was like, "Okay, well, he's fine, he's at peace. But I see him walking with a white cane, with a cane." And she mentioned a cane specifically, and he that's I think when he started tearing up, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And she was like, "Does that mean anything to you?" And Umar basically, when he went up north while he was in dental school in Pakistan, he
Mm-hmm.
bought like a cane that he really liked, and he came back to his gaon, and he showed his dada, and his dada was like, "Oh, ये बहुत अच्छी है." So Umar was like,
Oh,
"Okay, आप रख लो, you can have this to remember me by." And he was like, "नहीं नहीं नहीं," and Umar was like, "No, like none of the grandchildren give you anything. You should have this from me." And so
mm-hmm.
that meant he didn't realize how much it meant to his dada, but she kind of pressed on the fact that
Yeah.
he does remember that, and he remembers you. And so I was like, and Umar was close to his dada, so that was nice. It was very interesting. It was honestly a really great
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that's very decent. That's decent. That's good. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just like wanna ask about the ATV area. Was there like forests or jungle in that place where
There
you guys were
was
eating?
like it was like I want to say it was more like jungle because it was really muddy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it was forest and jungle. It was interesting. This one little island had a lot of terrain, like different kinds of like topography and terrain. It was interesting. What did
What's it
we
called again?
Lanai?
Oh, you were on Lanai Island. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these tech people have are like trying to make like their homes or something in Hawaii. This Lanai Island, which is like secluded, has like nothing, like until like I said, like no stoplights, and then there's a Four Seasons. And what did Tom Cruise has a home there, and George Lopez has a home there, which I was like, that's so random. Hello. Oh my God, we're experiencing technical difficulties.
So what was the name of the island again?
It was Lanai, and a lot of these like tech moguls are like, the guy who made Oracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
has a lot of property there, and Mark Zuckerberg, by the way, which proved to be an even bigger asshole, um, bought a lot of land in Kauai, and he tried to basically fraud people, families who have a birthright to lands around his property,
oh,
just stake their land for $10,000, and that land's worth way, way, way more than that. And it's like their birthright, like their families, the land has been in their families for generations, and by
that
law,
is
it's their land.
that is so evil and wrong.
Yeah,
That
man.
is
There was a lot of like a lot of stuff that we learned too. Yeah, it was
you
incredible.
were
There's
on you were on Lanai. By the way, that's actually a famous. I've actually heard of that island, and yeah, I've heard of these. The you were on the Tech Bro Island, like that's kind of
okay,
amazing.
man. I was at Lahaina and Lanai mixed up for some reason. I don't know
Mhm.
why my mind does these things. Maybe
It's
it was
I keep
Lahaina.
yeah, it is kind of like
Does it
a
sound
little
the same?
yeah, Lahaina and Lanai definitely sound the same because the Lanai is an island in
It is an island.
yeah, and what was the name of the other one? Kauai?
Kauai and Maui. We were the big islands that we were at were Maui and Kauai. Went to Kauai
Okay.
first, and then we went to Maui, and then when we were at Maui, we took the ferry to the Cat Sanctuary Island, which is in, let me tell you, once and for all, Lanai.
Mm.
Sorry, it is Lanai.
Yeah. So tell me about the cat sanctuary. I want to hear
Dude,
about
it was
that.
incredible. There are like 600 cats there, and you can basically adopt a cat from there.
Okay. So are
Yeah,
you guys
which
gonna get a?
we were doing that, and then we were like, wait, we're gonna. Umar had a good point. He was like, dude, don't you think ये बिल्ली के साथ ज्यादती है कि हम इसे इस मौसम से और इस environment से उठा के from Hawaii and like bring a cat to freaking like Wisconsin where it's like really cold and
Oh,
and I was like, oh shit, that's so
yeah.
true. So then we were like, we'll just go to the Humane Society like here and find a billy that really needs a home.
Yeah,
But
no,
there were a few
yeah,
cats
that
that
is
we
the
really
right.
liked.
That's Omar said the right thing because like a cat that's used to living in Hawaii for them, like
Yeah.
Wisconsin would be hellish. Yeah.
So
Uh,
I was like, oh, dude, I didn't even think of that. So we put a cork in that idea of getting a billy from there, and then we're just gonna like look here now. Probably summer ke end mein, cause the summer's pretty busy for us. We're a lot planned for June, July.
hmm. What do you, so did any other like crazy hijinks or dangerous,
God, no,
death-defying
that
situations
was all of
happen?
it. That was all of it.
ठीक है यार.
What
On
has been
mine,
up with
huh?
you? What has been up with
Yeah,
you?
I had two very big things happen. So the reason I'm surprised actually to be hearing about all this stuff from you is because we weren't in contact. Because while you were out on your honeymoon, I was writing my thesis for my master's degree,
Hmm.
and I wrote my thesis on it's a journalism degree, so I did my thesis on the water tanker mafia of Karachi. So
Yeah.
mine was like a coastal water issue, and then after I was done writing the thesis, I had to defend it in front of a panel, and I also had to like submit some bureaucrat. I had to source it and like give sources and then also write an entire note explaining
Hmm.
my sourcing and even like type up the interviews I took. It was really hectic, but I'm glad I did it because like I wrote a piece that was more than 8,000 words long, and I'm kind of like glad I've now had that experience and know how.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, thanks. It was.
Congratulations on being done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. It was another experience entirely, but I'm glad that I had it as an experience because now I know how to do something at that scale, and then I can scale up from there. Yeah, it's a useful skill to have, and
And you were also on Zara Hatke, which is also
oh
huge.
yeah, yeah. Did you watch the whole
I
show?
did.
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
It was awesome. It was really good to see people close to my age on
huh?
that platform. Um,
Yeah.
very like educated kids bringing up really good points for like on something that I really have not. I don't have a lot of knowledge about journalism. I know what I know through you. But there were a lot of good points being brought up, and also it was just really nice to see that okay, these kids they have a degree in this field and they're bringing up these really good points to other journalists or anchors, and yeah, I it was really good to hear about that.
Ramsha, thank you. Those were
That was
all
your
my
entire class, right? That was all the people in your.
That those were the people you saw us in that show. Those were my classmates. That was not all of my classmates, but they were all the people you saw. They were my classmates.
No, you
Like
should honestly tell them they did an amazing job. Yeah, they should be very
we
proud.
Yeah, yeah, we've kind of like made that known on the internal like chat groups that everyone has their groups, but yeah, we kind of like made it clear like no, I am very proud. Yes, I'm very proud of like all of my classmates, and they all like make us we make each other proud. I'm very happy with what they did, and like I was happy also to like after wanting to frankly like show up on TV and having worked on Zara Hatke, I actually got to be in front of the camera, and I
Mm-hmm.
met my whole team when they came to our school. And the place where they interviewed us was actually the studio that we have built inside our department, the floor that our department is placed on.
Oh,
Yeah, so that we can practice being in front of a television. And the most senior members of our department are all press people. So we have a separate teacher for like televisual stuff. And
oh, wow.
our most senior teachers are just proud of the students whenever they do anything televisual related because they're all like newspaper editors and that's former
Yeah.
news. So they're like, so we were all like happy that our facility was being shown. What did you think of the studio that was in?
I remember you sending like pictures when, like not like exposing anything obviously, but like just selfies of you in the studio. It looked really professional, man. It was really good to see. And it was like
Yeah,
a
that
yeah, I was very proud that you were there and just learning whatever you can about production, like behind the scenes stuff, and then having getting the opportunity to apply it in front of the camera. Yeah, you guys are very, very lucky.
yeah,
And it
we
was very
we
well done, man. It was really well done. It was really great to see people close to my age, educated kids bringing up points. I mean, I was like, I was very proud. I was like, yeah, ye hai हमारा future.
yeah, exactly. Like like the future part is something I'm always love about my class. I'm like, oh God, thank God,
And
like
you're
they're
all
they
it seemed like you're all very aware of, that this is now going to be your, you're going to inherit this field, you're going to inherit this country and all the issues that come with it. That's the vibe that I really got. So that was really great to see, honestly. Especially sitting here, you know.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and
Like dur se,
yeah.
not even just a third person in Pakistan, but a third person dur se. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, people are always like worried, like what's the future going to be like? Well, this is like a hint for the future, a hint of the future, and I think like things, it really makes me feel better. Like like my class basically takes away the sense of this is a very personal thing I'm saying, the sense of uncertainty I had.
Mm-hmm.
These guys really take it
Oh,
away.
that's big. No, that's big, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys should be very proud. Please do tell them that,
they're
they
gonna
did.
hear this. They're gonna
Oh,
hear
really?
this.
Hi,
It's
guys.
a you're part of like basically a project that started in this degree and now we're like on episode 11, so yeah.
Yeah,
I will yeah, okay, so we've blown enough smoke up like my classmates behinds,
yeah,
but no, it was good, it was good. I was very happy. All of us acquitted ourselves well, and we've also acquitted ourselves well in our like degree. Like my classmates, two of them, they for their thesis they did like this is Hassan and
hmm.
Laiba, they did documentaries for their thesis, which was
Oh, what
pretty.
were their documentaries on?
Okay, Hassan's was on the undocumented people in Karachi,
Oh, wow.
especially. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing that
Dude,
he did.
that's huge for our population, especially because, like, every time
Mm.
the new census or whatever comes out, and it's like this many people like it's like, but they're for, पता नहीं कितना था this past year.
It's approximately 212 or 213 million. It's
Yeah.
hard to remember. because
But these are people who are documented and registered, man.
yeah, there's people who probably d were not counted in the census because like
Hmm.
the women in their family didn't get counted, or they're like really they made themselves scarce whenever
Hmm.
it happened, or like they're really like squirreled away in some slum or in some
And
rural
these,
area.
yeah, and
And
that population of people believes in just birthing multiple, like numerous amounts of children, you know?
yeah, have you run across someone like that in
No,
your
it's just very, it's like,
experience?
I believe it's common knowledge, and some of the patients, even, I mean, I would have
Uh-huh.
a 19-year-old girl would come in sometimes who couldn't afford her treatment, but she has like 5 kids. And I'm like, kya matlab tum, like, kya matlab?
Yeah, they're living in like jhompriyan, and
Yeah.
are census teams even reaching those jhompriyan? Like that's a
Mm-hmm.
question. Like yeah, the other documentary Laiba did was on the Multan riots in 92,
Oh.
uh, 93, after the Babri Mosque was torn
Mhm.
down in India. There were like corresponding Hindu-Muslim riots in Pakistan. We haven't had those since and not in my not in my conscious memory, but apparently this is in our lifetime in 92. This was in response to what happened in India. And I'm just grateful that we don't do that shit
Yeah.
anymore. But that was something she covered, and like she did a documentary on it, and it's kind of amazing. It's really good.
Are these
Like
documentaries available to watch? Like,
I
have
I don't know. I don't know. These are theses.
okay.
So I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure all this stuff, by the way, is done as an HEC requirement, Higher Education Commission of Pakistan,
Oh,
the
right,
guys
right,
who
right,
the
right.
university. So we need to actually submit a thesis because it's an HEC requirement. So from what I understood, these are stored on as either physical copies or on CDs, wherever like the HEC stores theses for its like
Oh,
master's student.
got it, got it, got it, got it.
Basically, so yeah, there's probably going to be a record somewhere. Eventually, like you could like ask Laiba. Her name is Laiba Zainab.
I
So
mean, if you
she,
could, it would be really interesting to see these. Honestly, they should,
yeah,
maybe put them up on, it's not YouTube,
I
but
I
like little
I am yeah. If
things.
Hassan or Laiba ever think of doing that, but I would leave the decision up to them because like
Yeah.
they put so much effort into this. They deserve like some
Some
proper like
recognition. Yeah,
some
compensation
recognition and
and
some
recognition.
compensation. ये
Yeah.
बहुत this involved a lot of like shoe leather reporting.
And I cannot imagine just grunt work, you know.
Yeah. Both Hassan and Laiba are involved were previously involved with like documentary making or televisual reporting. Laiba worked in Multan as the as a television reporter, so
Mm.
she came in with that background and was really appreciated by the class.
Oh,
And
that,
Hassan, yeah, Hassan Saab जो हैं, our buddy Hassan, he was on Sharmeen Chinoy's A Girl in the Rivers
oh
documentary. So he
wow.
worked, yes, Ramsha. I worked with someone, I studied with someone,
Amazing.
my friend, yeah, on an Oscar winning documentary. It's like, yeah, getting people to talk is like a real, who in Pakistan is a, it's like a, not just a chore, but it's like a mission in itself, like just getting people to talk.
Yeah. No, but man,
Yeah.
you just, yeah, let them know that they deserve all
Oh, yeah.
the credit and recognition.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is big.
What's
It's
the
really big.
what's the next step now for you? What are you contemplating
Okay,
for?
the next thing on my part is I'm getting my notes together and trying to like get a sort of, I've worked on an outline, but like get some sort of rough manuscript. This experience with the thesis has helped, but I'm also going to be looking for a job. Also, the next thing, Ramsha, I'm going to try and like fix up this, not fix up this podcast, but like sort of get some Patreon thing going for our podcast. We're on episode
Ooh.
11.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to like, yeah,
We gotta do
yeah,
a regular schedule thing.
yeah.
I started at the thing is I started at the VA just like an observership because obviously I can't like touch a patient or treat a patient until I have my license here. Hopefully that's
Mm-hmm,
end goal. Um,
mm-hmm.
but it's the VA is like the government, federal government hospital for the vets who served in, उनके लिए अस्पताल जो है. So I'm just go with Umar in the morning, and then I really lucky in the sense that I get to see these procedures, and they drop like 16 implants in a day, which is just really cool to see. So doing that,
Wow.
like yeah, the stuff that they're it's really I mean, I'm very lucky that I get to be exposed to, to doctors and surgeons wahan pe because they're really great. And they're willing to like teach, which is really, really nice of them for to me, they don't have to take time out and do that, but they do. So that's really nice. So that just takes up, a lot of the day. We go at like 7 a.m. and then we come back by 5 and then we go to the gym. But one day I need out of the week so I can focus on my application. So that day, I'm thinking we should do like, we can record an episode in the
You don't
morning.
all super regular, Ramsha. We like basically the reason I want to set up a Patreon is because this is something that people in media, you're technically in media. We're technically doing media. We are doing media. So one thing people should realize is, compensation for your time. So that's like
Yeah.
5 words. Not forget that.
Yeah, that's been my not my philosophy of life, but not compensation for time, but my thing has always been like if someone wastes my time, I have to
Uh,
write them off right there.
yeah, yeah.
And it's
So
not
that
because I think I'm hot shit or anything. It's just I give someone, you give someone time, that's your courtesy, and if they waste your time and then it's like bye man. So I get that. I understand you want to be
yeah,
compensated for your time.
yeah, but you also like you're putting in effort, you're thinking about what you want to do, you're putting in your time and
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah.
Like
True.
so
Um
so yeah, I'm gonna like set up like some social media for this podcast as well, social media pages or accounts for this podcast as well, and I'll
that's
run and I'll just have
okay.
those. Yeah, and that'll like bring some listeners in, and it should help. And because the reason that I got inspired to do this was because I listened to like the first 3 or 4 months of Red Scare podcast
Mm-hmm.
because Word Funk is ended. So I was like, okay, let's listen to these two Rush East European American girls talk, and I really enjoyed their stuff. But then I realized that they had like a loyal following, and
Mm-hmm.
some Canadian girls had made us their own version of Red Scare podcast. It's called Excuse the name, Dumb Bitch Media, and
That just rolls
it's
off the tongue, doesn't it?
yeah, and they're Canadian girls, and they have like 560 something followers, and but they've been running since like last year, and they basically like they have a Patreon, and I'm like,
Oh.
you know what, if you have like only a less than a year old podcast with like half the following, not even half, but like a fraction of the following that some accounts that I've run have,
Mhm.
then I think it's only fair that I also get to ask for like some compensation for
Yeah,
our time.
yeah. And
So
you
yeah,
do a lot for this, like you edit it and stuff. You do a lot for it. I feel like I don't do as much as you, so you
no,
deserve
no,
compensation for
you,
sure.
no, you come up with shit to do. You come up with shit to discuss. I'm saying shit, what? You come up with stuff to discuss. You have the
Yeah, I
stories.
use a lot, by the way. I need to, especially on this podcast. Mama like, Mama will message me saying, "Beta, please don't use bad words. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, same. I don't think we have used really bad words. I don't think so.
Speak for yourself.
I am gonna have
I
to listen.
have. I'm pretty sure I have. I don't think I've ever gotten my point across without using a cuss word.
Oh God. Okay, let's just end this. Speaking of cuss words, let's just
Can
end
I can
our
I just give you one small update? Um,
please.
so so since we've been back, two updates actually, which have
Sure.
been really annoying. One of them is very annoying. So since we've been back from Hawaii, our basically parking in our building is in the basement, okay?
Yeah.
And the side of the basement where our gari is parked is kind of there's a dip, okay? There's like a slight dip, and then we हमारा parking level आता है. तो जब यहाँ पे बारिशें होती है ना, which has been happening, springtime in Milwaukee is all like बारिशें. So there's like a construction flaw in this building, and when it
Mm.
rains, the basement floods. So since we've been back from
Oh.
Hawaii, we haven't been able to park our car in the basement. We've been parking on the street, and that was in April, and now April, May, June. So there's been water just standing a little above ankle level, and it's just
Mm.
standing in our basement, and now there's mold growing there.
Okay. I
Yeah,
can
and
understand.
elevators shut down. It's pretty bad. So that's been a constant annoyance for us, and I just thought I would let you in on that too because it's very annoying. And
Yeah.
secondly,
Uh-huh.
another update is the neighbor who every
Yeah, that I
Saturday.
want to hear more about.
So
What's the
so
scene with
so
that?
this neighbor, if anyone has listened before and gives a shit, honestly, our next door neighbor, who we basically share a wall with, our entire living room and kitchen wall, okay, we share with Gina. And Gina every Saturday would play without fail, would
It's
play
good.
white trash music, okay, like like just loud music from 10 p.m. till like
Uh-huh.
4 a.m. Okay, and the week before my part two board exam, it just
Uh-huh.
got unbearable. And she was doing this since November, okay, and we just try to be really good neighbors and not really say anything. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then one night I played the azan really loud at like 4 a.m., so that scared the shit out of her, and she stopped for like a couple of weeks. But the week before my exam, she really started up again, and Umar like banged on her door and said, "Turn that fucking shit down." So uske baad she stopped. I think she kind of got scared. But then we met her in the elevator a week after that, and we were walking in, and she was walking out, and she said, "Oh, hi guys," and we were like, "Hey, Gina," and then it was really nice of her. She turned around. She said, "You guys, I'm so sorry about the music. I didn't know it was going on for this long, and I didn't know I was being this loud. I genuinely am really sorry." And we were like, "Dude, you've been really good after that, so thank you. And we're sorry that we were so obnoxious, but it was just a really stressful time for me." So she apologized, and we're all good now. And पिछले
Oh.
हफ्ते she actually baked cookies, and she baked extra, and she left them at our door, and so that was really nice. So yeah, we're friends now.
Oh. Wow, good. I'm glad. That's an improvement. That's good. I feel like that's good. Okay, the tension is decreasing. I feel like the tension has declined uh now that certain things have passed. I
My
think the
exam.
tension has declined and
Dude, you know how
my
I get when it's exam time.
yeah.
It's like all bets are off. I will yell at you, and I no holds bar, man. Exam time, don't mess with me.
Yeah, fine. And yeah, and my thesis and shit, yeah,
Yeah.
we're like tension pass ho gayi hai. Ab like moving forward into a new era as tougher, better versions of ourselves. Speaking of we getting tougher, I just feel like now that the Indian election is over, and to wrap up that update,
Yeah.
do you wanna do, do you
Um,
wanna say
I
any that?
I just want I just want Modi to take some the meetings with Imran Khan, man. Like, what's your problem? Pick up his phone. Don't leave him on red, okay? Have a
Yeah,
conversation. That's all.
yeah. Yeah, I think that that's that might be unrealistic because they're a bunch of psychos. I feel more bad for like the Muslims in
I
India,
feel bad for all
frankly.
the minorities and the Muslim. Yeah, yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really honestly in if India acts like a total psycho, it's no skin off our back at this point. As Pakistanis,
yeah, but you
we
know when
show.
the elections happened, it was um I follow like a bunch of female Indian comedians who are in India. Um, and they were like retweeting people,
Uh-huh.
Muslim women who were trying to get apartments
Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah.
in India, right? In like big cities like Mumbai, I think, and they were being turned away from realtors because they're Muslim.
Yeah, that's been happening
Or
for over a quarter of a
people in
century.
the building, communities and people in the building who are Hindus are like कि नहीं मुसलमान को नहीं ये घर हम रेंट पे दे सकते हैं. And it's like
Yeah,
what?
that's been in India for over like as far as I can remember. I've been getting the news over a quarter of a century, maybe 30 years. It's that
Bro,
this discrimination in India on the basis of religion or
यार
sect or
यानी अब हद होती है यार
going
like
on.
you legalize gay marriage just relax a bit like you can relax a bit more like relax
India
like I don't
has legalized gay marriage. America has.
anyway
India,
it's
yeah,
I think
they the
it's still a little as someone who's not in the news world I would just still we need a few more months to observe and see how Modi acts out because
wait,
I don't think there's going to be a big change.
Wait, Ramsha, can you start from the beginning what you were saying after the last thing because this call keeps dropping on this issue.
Oh, I was
What
just
was
saying that I'm not in the news world like you are, so I don't really know. I think for someone like me, I need more time to observe what Modi's up to because I don't think he's gonna do anything for the better for minorities. He's just gonna keep, you know, creating havoc and
yeah,
putting more money
yeah,
and pocket and gaining more
that's
power.
all he
I'm not holding my breath on that avenue, honestly.
he can't do anything good for anyone. One. I mean, I don't know what good he's doing for India even. He's just
Yeah.
creating havoc and lower grade chaos, which works out for him, but I don't see how that improves anyone's lives in India. That's not his intention, frankly speaking.
Yeah.
And
Did you see
the
this
world,
sorry, yes.
the the world this time around now recognizes him for what he's done. Like no one in the world is like pretending he's
Hmm.
anything more than he actually is, which is like a rabble rousing a-hole who just rabble rousing asshole who just like creates election havoc. Like the entire world now basically knows the BJP playbook. And
Blowjob party.
oh yeah, yeah,
I
you
still
told.
don't know what it stands for, so I just keep calling them blowjob party.
Yeah, I've been able to say this since I was 11, the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Bharatiya Janata Party. Good. I won't remember that after 3 seconds.
Does sound close to genitals.
It does.
Just to like keep dumping on them. They have
It's
a
a
hundred.
mouthful.
Yeah, it is a mouthful. They want to like sound as different from like any sort of like they want to sound as Sanskrit as possible. That's cool. That's their decision. But here's the thing: they have like 110 million people, and they're dedicated to like they're dedicated to like separating Indian identity from its Muslim and Islamic influences as much as possible. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you
Man, at the end of the day, Hindus and Muslims, our history is always going to be intertwined. So you need to stop trying to separate it because, I mean, it's been 70 years and that shit hasn't worked. So just live with it, deal with it, and move on. I just, people need to stop now.
yeah, at this point, like honestly, when he does like ruin the politics and atmosphere in India, it also gives license to terrible people in Pakistan to do
बिल्कुल
some version of the same in Pakistan. So it's
बिल्कुल
not good for us. Huh?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, it does. So like he does it does at this point though, like we can build a sort of like uh we are a separate country, so we can build a sort of like barrier between the bad effects coming over. But like the Indians have, like the Indians who voted for them, they have to realize they're not Pakistan. Pakistan, the majority religion is like 96 or 97%. Over
Mm-hmm.
there in India, like the Hindus are 80% and like 17 to 20%, or 17 to 20% or something are Muslim. So that's like one out of every six Indian, or one out of every
It's a
seven or
lot. If
five.
you think about how big the population is, that's a lot. 17% is still a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. So they can't like even though he's won across so much of India, like I mean, does he want to just like turn it into a rolling, like do the people who voted for him want to like just turn the country into a rolling, like chaotic uh sectarian riot every week? I
We
mean,
will
like if
we will find out. Man, there was this Indian news clip where they were blaming Pakistan for their like heat wave, and I was like, यार वहाँ पे भी यही मसले हैं, वहाँ पे भी बहुत गर्मी है, like easy हो जाओ.
yeah,
It's just
no,
getting ridiculous now.
yeah, I thought we were the crazy ones, but the thing is, by not going into the like by not going into the future, the Trumpian future, we're stuck in our old ways of
Mm.
like thinking, asking for like things like evidence, facts, proving things. Like, can you prove what you just said? Like
Yeah.
Zardari, yeah, Zardari. By the way, when we're recording this, Zardari was
I
arrested.
know. I
But
woke up this morning and I was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, but here's what's going to happen, Ramsha. They won't be able to prove anything in
No,
court.
of course, of course.
So he'll go scot free. So like
Of
we,
course.
but and even the ordinary Pakistanis are going to ask, hey, do you have? But the Pakistanis are at that stage where they're still being backwards and asking for things like proof. But I feel like some part of America and India has moved beyond that, and they're just like, no, what they say is what our leader says is the truth, and proof is just a liberal conspiracy. Oh yeah,
Honestly, I woke up and I read that and I was like, iska kuch. I mean, it was really nice seeing him being arrested or turn
hmm.
himself in or whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a lot that can happen.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing gonna come of it.
that big
So
ass smile that Bilawal Bhutto had on his face, I was like, yeah.
I always think of Zardari smile. I don't think
Oh,
Zardari.
his smile is so creepy.
I know it is,
You know,
and it's
you
I
know,
don't
Dr. Altamash is his dentist.
do I do I know that. I was aware of that.
Yeah.
Their buddies from way back. I don't think the smile is gonna be wiped off Zardari's face. I think he's just gonna take the troll and troll back. So
Yeah.
chalo, theek hai yaar. Ramsha, it's been a lot of fun. Did you enjoy like
I had a good
this?
time. I always have a good time talking you,
Chalo,
catching up.
yeah, yeah, same, yeah. That's why we do this. So chalo, yaar, have a good week, and I'll post
You,
this.
you
And
too.
yeah, have a good week. Yeah, take care, Ramsha.
Stop. Stop.
Hafiz.